Happy Sunday, bitches. It is Heather Ryan coming to you from just outside of Des Moines, Iowa.
And Blythe Potter in Bargersville, Indiana.
Welcome to our latest episode of Bitches Get Stuff Done. There is so much going on in the news. I know I say that every single time we have a podcast, but it's always true.
It is always true. There's always so much happening. Every day is its own shitstorm of news, headline news.
I know, right? And this is why we try to do this twice a week, because there's so much. It's hard to keep track of all of it. So we're going to be trying to cram in as much of stuff as possible within the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Worth noting that we're recording on Sunday, November 30th at like 5:30 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. Eastern-ish time. Yeah. So much will change by the time you hear this, as always.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Unfortunately, because everything's always moving, right?
Yeah. Just like the snow.
Oh my God. We got so much snow yesterday. Oh my God. The only reason I've left the house in 2 days is to try and shovel some of the snow out from behind my kid's car because they've got a doctor appointment in the morning. I'm like, oh God. Fortunately, it's so cold out that the snow's really, really light, fluffy. But that means we've got snow drifts everywhere too.
We got lucky. It was terrible last night with the snow, but it warmed up enough to melt most of it. So now it's just a sludgy mess.
Yeah, we are supposed to get more tomorrow, actually. Right. We're supposed to get like 2 more inches tomorrow. So that'll put us right around a foot of snow.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I haven't actually looked at our forecast, so I have no idea what we're in for.
Well, we'll take all the shitty weather for you. You're welcome. So we're going to start off this with the pardoning of the Honduran drug dealer. I don't think enough people are talking about this. It's crazy.
Or the irony of it.
So, is it ironic or just gross? I haven't decided. Right?
It's hypocritical. It's gross. It's ironic. It's totally par for the course. Like we should have expected it.
Yes. So Donald Trump has he pardoned him yet, or is he just talking about pardoning him?
That's an excellent question. Last I heard, he was just thinking about pardoning. Let me look while you talk about it.
Yeah. At last I saw, he was just thinking about it as well. However, that's been a couple of days, so who knows? But he was talking about pardoning the Honduran former president, who was such a huge drug dealer that he personally said he wants to put coke up the noses of every single American. I mean, over the top. I think he's got like a 40-year sentence here in the States.
Yeah, 45 years. And we do know that at the very least, one of Donald Trump's children uses coke, because we've seen it happen on public television. But as of 6 hours ago, CBS News reported that he will pardon the former Honduran president. So it hasn't happened yet, but I expect that it will. Great.
And Brandon brought this point up, and I think it's a valid point. This is much like El Chapo, where the country that has him was like, okay, you have a warrant out for him in the United States. Here you go. We're going to wash our hands of this. You can have him. We have no interest in keeping this horrible human being in our country. You take him, you prosecute him. That was this situation. Just like El Chapo spending time in, a maximum prison here in the United States, this guy was doing the same. His country doesn't necessarily want him back. And I believe that this is a way to try and influence their upcoming elections as well.
Yes, he's trying to influence their elections. But he's also, which is interesting, I hope the people of Honduras are seeing what's happening, because he did just try to deport a child from Honduras who's been here like her whole life and has a federal court order that she cannot be deported. A 19-year-old.
Yeah, she was heading back from college. Is that right? To surprise her family.
Yep.
And then the ICE stopped her, or the feds stopped her at the airport and deported her. Is that what you got?
That is what I heard. Let me fact check that too, because I'm pretty sure they actually did take her.
And that was against the judge's wishes. A judge specifically said, you cannot just deport this person. She has been here her whole life. She's a DACA recipient, but it didn't seem to matter.
It says 2 days ago, ABC 7 Los Angeles, she was traveling for Thanksgiving, was deported to Honduras.
Unbelievable. Can you imagine?
No, I can't even imagine this is our reality, like talking about this. I can't imagine being the person being deported. It has to be horrific.
Absolutely terrifying. And then you get there, and what do you do once you get there?
I don't know. Hope you don't get trafficked or murdered, or hope you can speak the language. I don't know if she can speak the language. I don't know any of it. Well, I haven't looked at that.
It's irrelevant whether she can speak the language. She doesn't have a place to go, presumably.
Or probably a working cell phone.
Right?
But how do you communicate when you get there? Like, well, I don't know. I don't even know what you do. I don't even know.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't have an answer.
Same.
It's
I hate
horrific.
it is so horrific.
I mean, and speaking of ICE, I'm sure that you saw the actress in Oregon, Native American. What was she on? Twin Peaks? Does that sound right? I think she was.
I honestly don't know.
I believe she old school. I mean, I used to watch Twin Peaks, so it's old. But she's a Native American actress. ICE stops her and asks her for her ID, and she gives them her tribal ID because she is Native American, and they said that it looked fake. So,
and they refused to call the tribal council to confirm this. They made her do it. Her name's Elaine Miles.
And how long did they detain her? They detained her like all day, and maybe a couple of days.
It was definitely. Yep, she was detained for some time. Yes, you're right.
It's unbelievable. It's grotesque. It's mortifying. As an American, I am fucking humiliated. It's so awful that this is our reality.
And we don't even know if they were actually with ICE. So it says 4 men wearing masks and vests labeled U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. They're actually just calling these alleged ICE agents. I don't know that they know if they were for sure an ICE agent.
Wow.
Which may be why they had her call the tribal council, because they're like, they're probably that dumb that they're like, what's a tribal council?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that would be my guess. That is total speculation on my part.
But that's true with all these ICE agents, right? We don't know if they're really federal agents.
Yeah, we have no clue because they cover their faces, they cover their bodies, and they don't have ID. They don't have warrants. We probably saw the video that's been going around of a woman at her home with ICE agents trying to like put up a perimeter there. Several of them. It was horrible.
And is that the one where a bunch of civilians came and surrounded her home and were harassing the good? I'm glad. Mm-hmm. I did see yesterday that in New York, too, civilians were like circling around the ICE facility in their vehicles so that they couldn't leave. The ICE vehicles couldn't get out of the building. So they ended up calling the operation. They canceled it because they couldn't get out.
Love it.
It's amazing.
Some good trouble right there.
And that's some dedication to the cause. Have you ever driven in New York City? It's a fucking nightmare. It is a nightmare.
I imagine so. I've definitely walked in New York City. I can't now remember how I've ever driven there, but it would be horrible.
It's horrible. The streets are narrow. There's way too many people. It's absolutely horrible. I do not recommend. Find an Uber. Take the train. Do not drive.
That's so funny. Well, speaking of ICE, Caroline Leavitt appears to have had her brother's ex deported or detained?
Yep. Deported. I believe she has been deported. She was detained and deported, like, I want to say on the same day.
Yeah, they're 11. It was a former fiance, so that way he could have custody of their 11-year-old son and not have to pay child support.
Yeah. Such a good father, right?
Such a great father.
It's unbelievable how these people are so, quote unquote, family values. But then the moment they get to tear away families, they take that opportunity. The second they get it.
Yep.
It's grotesque. And the fact that he definitely used his connections with Caroline Leavitt to pull some strings and get his ex deported. What the fuck kind of human being is this?
Yeah. It's horrible.
The whole story is so cuckoo bananas because 12 years ago or something, they had a baby and then he wins $1 million off of some kind of betting app. Yeah. I'm not terribly familiar with those betting apps.
It was a sports betting app. I heard it, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I'd know it if I heard it. But either way, I don't bet on sports and stuff. So what a waste of money. And then he left her with the $1 million. And I suppose that she probably wanted some of that money to bring up his kid. And that's probably why he had her deported.
Yeah. Well, he traded her in also for someone who looks alarmingly like Caroline Leavitt.
Why?
Why would you want to be with someone who looks exactly like your sister?
Or your daughter, Ivan. So gross. I don't get it. But yes, that's what we had for ICE. ICE is horrible. ICE continues to do egregious stuff. That hasn't changed. It just continues to get worse and worse and worse.
So horrible.
Yes. And speaking of horrible, Venezuela. But before we talk about Venezuela, let's take a break.
Good idea.
Bitches Get Stuff Done is brought to you in part by Blythe Potter, seeking the Democratic nomination for Indiana's Secretary of State in 2026. Blythe wants to increase voter turnout as well as voter registration and use the NBiz website to help share and teach sustainable business practices for the business leaders in Indiana and bring boring back to the Secretary of State's office. Blythe needs to raise about $10,000 a month to try to flip Indiana's Secretary of State office blue. And remember, turning a red state blue benefits the entire country, even if you can't vote for us. To donate, visit BlythePotter.com. Paid for and authorized by Friends of Blythe Potter. Use of military rank titles or photographs in uniform does not imply endorsement by the Department of the U.S. Army or Army Reserves or the Department of Defense.
Bitches Get Stuff Done, the podcast, is brought to you in part by Fight Like a Bitch, a guide to fighting fascism with guerrilla activism. Available now at the website bitchesgetstuffdone.org. So I know I continue to harp on Venezuela and how there's so much going on that's not being talked about. And I've made content on this. I even explained it with my battleship game and said, hey, this is the battleship, but that's not really the important part. The important part is the aircraft carrier. You're moving an aircraft carrier to the, off the shores of Venezuela. That means you're moving like 12 ships. It's not just one ship. And so I know I continue to harp on this, but I cannot stress enough how concerning it is that Donald Trump just announced that we're about to start a ground war.
Yeah, well, because first they shot up a ship that they claimed to have drug traffickers. This was in September, I think. It already feels like a year ago, but recently. So then after that happens, which there was no evidence that they were actually moving drugs, then he has them move the warships. And now he's claiming that he's closing airspace above Venezuela.
Yeah.
And this is because of the war on drugs, even though we are pardoning the Honduran warlord, drug lord.
Yeah. So I guess that would be why they needed the aircraft carrier, because that's got all of everything that you'd need to close up their airspace and blow any planes out of the sky if you wanted to, which in and of itself is insane. They're looking at blowing up passenger planes, civilian planes. This whole thing is so crazy. And it's all a war crime. Every last bit of it is a fucking war crime.
Yeah. Well, now Congress is talking about potentially having a congressional hearing because of said war crimes, because, it was already a war crime to begin with, but Pete Hegseth gave the go-ahead to kill 2 people who were hanging off the side of a ship, which they posed no threat to anybody. And people followed those orders, which we've been concerned about as well this whole time. So now it sounds like Trump is trying to throw Pete Hegseth under the bus, saying, I didn't order that to happen, which I highly doubt. Highly doubt.
None of those little schmucks do anything without Trump's approval. None of them.
And even if he did, he would have done this music. Oh, Daddy Trump's going to be so proud of me if I kill these 2.
True. That's true. If Trump didn't approve it, but Trump definitely would have approved it. He micromanages everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that goes on that's sinister that he doesn't know about.
Well, there's certainly nothing that goes on that he's kind about or logical about or cares about human rights.
Absolutely. And just to point out the obvious to us, but maybe not to everybody, if you strike a ship and you have some people floating in the water, you are not allowed in the engagement of war to go and kill the rest of the people floating in the water. That's actually against maritime law. Well,
and international law, too.
Yeah, it's its own unique fucking crime. Mm-hmm. So first we did the crime by blowing up the ship in the first place. We don't have a declaration of war. There's nothing that those ships are proving to be dangerous to our naval base or naval ships. None of that as its own crime. And then you blow up people that lived through that crime. Is another unique crime. I do hope that they have congressional hearings and Kaig's Breath has to go and do the congressional hearings. So I really, really do.
I hope that all of the military personnel who took said orders and did what they were not supposed to do also have congressional hearings. And I don't say that lightly, because I still cannot imagine being in their situation. I truly cannot. Being given a direct order like that is wrong, and saying, no, I'm not doing this, is its own concerning. I can't even fathom what would happen. I truly can't. I don't.
No, I don't. I have no idea. It would have come up in my brain when I was in the service that would even be asked of me.
Same.
right? It never would have occurred to me. Like, of course, don't follow an unlawful order, but I don't have any commanders that I could ever even think of that would say, "Hey, I want you to do this illegal thing."
Yeah.
That would never cross their minds either.
I would hope not. I guess I'm never surprised by people being terrible anymore, but I just can't imagine. I can't imagine any of it. One, being told to take down the ship with no proof. No, I mean, do they typically tell you we have confirmed sighting of drug trafficking? Like, wouldn't they have to like have proof of this?
You would think so, right?
Wait.
And I saw Crusti Noem today on one of my morning shows, and she was talking about 40 million people had been saved by us blowing up those ships.
Oh.
What the fuck are you talking about, bitch? 40 million people?
I would love to understand how.
That the population of the entire state of Iowa is 3 million. So did they save every single man, woman, and child here 15 times over? What the fuck is she talking about?
No idea. I have no idea.
She didn't even say what drugs. I mean, she's insinuating like fentanyl or something, but everybody is going to be taking this and dying from it. What the fuck is she talking about? 40 million people have been saved because they've blown up 10 ships or something.
She's insane. Well, she is getting old. She does have a birthday today, so
it is her birthday.
Maybe she's got some dementia just like Donald Trump.
Well, for whatever it's worth, after we get done recording this podcast, I do plan on putting on my Crusti Noem outfit and doing a Crusti Noem birthday celebration. I don't know exactly the script yet. I'll have to think about it, but I think I will encourage her to make a donation in her name to Bitches Get Stuff Done.
Oh my God, that would be that's your call to action.
Right?
Make a donation to Bitches Get Stuff Done for $54 in Crusti Noem's name.
Right.
Happy birthday, twat.
And put in the notes, happy birthday, twat.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the day today I spent writing Blowing the Whistleville in Mitchellville, because if you're not following this saga here in Des Moines, Iowa, it's Mitchellville's maybe 10 minutes from where I live, and it's so dramatic, it's so crazy. I stumbled upon it, and now it's become its own unique soap opera, and it's surely the craziest thing I've ever filmed, because I have to do every single part. And so I have to plan it out. Okay, this guy doesn't wear makeup, and he has a beard or a mustache, and this guy has a bald head, and this guy has he wears a cop suit. So I have to plan that out, and then put my makeup on and do the female parts. And oh my God, it's taken on a life of its own.
They should have bald head and beard filters.
That's true.
Although the bald hair cap that you have is pretty epic.
I love that bald hair cap so much.
So funny. I like your bloopers too, where you walk in and you're like, oh, damn it. Like your dog's barking.
I knocked on the door. Like, the dogs were freaking out. Like, and I script it, and then I don't memorize it. I don't memorize my scripts. I just script it. And if I'm lucky, I can remember what the fuck I'm supposed to say. So then I'm like reading the script, like, oh, that's right. His name is this. Because there's so many different characters. I lose track. Good time.
It's so funny.
Yes,
it's so funny.
Mitchellville. If you haven't watched Blowing the Whistleville in Mitchellville, you're missing out. You
got to make sure you go to the first one, though.
Yes,
because I think I'd accidentally skipped one. Like I'd seen 1 and 3 maybe, and I was like, I watched it and I was like, I feel very confused here. And then I realized, oh, Blythe, there's more than one of these now. Like, yeah.
And if you get an opportunity, go to the very first one where I'm literally in my red robe, talking about this crazy shit that's going on in Mitchellville. And that's when when I was recording that, because I'm trying to explain it and break it down. And it's so confusing, and there's so many players, and there's so much corruption and so much graft, that I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a soap opera out of this. So that helps to break down exactly what's going on, at least a little bit. But there's a bunch that I couldn't even put into that breakdown because there's so much. So much corruption. And people there, oh my God, they're such gossips. They've been contacting me directly like, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to give you. They've been sending me videos and pictures and documents. And oh my God, so much. I love it. In episode 4, which is what I'm about to do right now, the sheriff accidentally butt dials another staff member in the city. This is all real. He butt dials and talking shit about him. So the sheriff's on the phone with the mayor talking shit about this other staff member, and he butt dials the staff member.
I love that part is real because that's the last thing I remember seeing. And I was like, I really hope that's a real part.
It is. And the staff member was like in bed at 9:00 at night with his wife, and he gets this butt dial, and he's like, what the fuck?
Did he record it?
No, but I think he might have taken notes because he remembers. I mean, not that I got talked to him or anything, but he does remember a lot of the details.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the first butt dial. He butt dialed him twice, brah. Twice.
It's weird that butt dials even still happen in 2025.
I know, right? And
do you know what else is weird before we take our next break?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to see a reaction to this. Water beds.
What?
Are water beds so weird?
Do you have you don't have a water bed?
No, but weren't they fucking weird?
I had one.
I did too. My parents had one. I had one with tubes in it.
Oh, I didn't have that. Oh, I remember those though. My grandmother had one of those, and it was more stable, right? It didn't slosh around as much. But then you get a leak in those fuckers, and then all your sheets and blankets are wet, and then you've got to drain it. And you know the conditioner stuff you had to put in it so it wouldn't get moldy on the inside.
Michael was talking. He's like hurt his back a few weeks ago, and he's still not like 100%. He's like, I almost feel like I need a water bed. I was like, oh God, how old are you? And they called it like a dirty sack of water or something. Like, I was dying last night. Water beds are funny.
Those were the shit back in the day. I remember those brilliantly. Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yeah. I had one for years.
What a weird thing though, right?
Yeah, it's so dated. I bet you could not buy a waterbed now to save your life. There's no way. Are you going to look it up?
I absolutely am. We should take a break and I'll look up water beds.
I think I was a sophomore in high school. All the way to my senior year, I had a waterbed.
Michael had them in college too. What? And I was like, why would you have a waterbed in college? That's like the worst idea.
By the time I went to college, you could not have them in college. You couldn't go to the dorms because they would leak. And they would cause damage to the dorms and to your apartments and stuff. A lot of apartment complexes wouldn't let you have them either.
Yeah, I believe it. I totally believe it. Oh my God. They have Aspen 30-inch waveless deep fill hard side waterbed mattresses. Like they still sell that shit.
Wow. What I hear you saying is that your husband's about to get a waterbed. That's what I hear you
no. No, we're absolutely not getting a waterbed. It's so funny. All right, we should take another break.
Okay, let's do that.
Bitches Get Stuff Done, the podcast, is brought to you in part by The Totally True Tale of Trumpenezer Scrooge, a comical reimagining of A Christmas Tale, where a silver spoon baby turned president, Donald Jism Trump, is shown the error of his ways through three ghosts as his cabinet parties in the Oval Office on December 24th. Will he learn the error of his ways? Find out. Tickets are now available for this one night only showing at XBK Live or at bitchesgetstuffdone.org.
I have been waiting for a week to tell you about Katie Porter. Katie fucking Porter came to Iowa. I didn't know that she is originally from Iowa. So that was news to me.
Because she's a congresswoman who represented California.
But she's not anymore. Remember, she decided to run for Senate. There was an open Senate seat that Kamala Harris left open. And she ran for that. So you can't hold two spots. You know, you can't run two elections at the same time. So she gave up her congressional seat and she ran against Adam Schiff. And of course, Adam Schiff won. He's now a senator. But she is 100% positioning and is the Democratic front runner for governor. Yes, I know. So when someone called me and said, "Hey, are you interested in meeting Katie Porter?" I'm like,
"Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you crazy? She's going to be the next governor of California." Yeah, of course I am. You crazy lunatic. So I was invited 100% because her mom is a fan of mine on social media.
I love it.
It's crazy. It's
so crazy.
And this is completely as an aside and what happened at the very end of our meeting, but it was like a little reception, like 20 people were there, mostly, friends of the family. I had never met any of these people. I knew several of them from political connections, but I was, there was no reason I was there, to be honest. But at the very, very end, after everything, she got her phone out and got my selfie with me.
Aww.
I'm the only one she did that for. Me and her grandfather.
Aw.
Yes. I was like, oh my God, Katie Porter. And I only have, for Pete's sake, I only have 104,000 followers. In the grand scale of TikTok, that is nothing. It really isn't. But in Iowa, apparently it's a big ass deal.
I think it's a big deal.
Well,
So for this arena in states like ours that people like the DNC doesn't pay attention to us, we don't get attention from liberal and progressive politics. So it is a big deal. It's a huge deal.
So this is what I've been waiting to tell you and get your feedback on, because I was just really impressed by her just breadth of knowledge about so many different topics. And she spent a good chunk of time with each person that was there and talked like heart to heart with them. And so when she was chit-chatting with me, she approached me and started the conversation. So tell me about the content you create. I'm really interested in it. I know that some of the people here are really big fans of yours. And I was just telling her, what I create and how I do all these silly impersonations of politicians and make fun of them. And she's like, oh, I'm down with this. Because she's really funny. If you're not familiar with Katie Porter, she's very collegiate. Like, she will explain things on her whiteboard and make it easy to consume. So I was telling her that's kind of what I try to do, try to make things easy to understand. And then I asked her, because now there's a big group like surrounding us, and I'm like leaning up against the most uncomfortable stove in the history of stoves. And it's like going up my butt crack. And she's over against the counter. I'm like, oh my God, I really need to move. But I couldn't because there were so many people around us. And I said, here's what concerns me. If we want free universal health care and free universal college, how do we do that if the military is trying to recruit people, and those are the big two incentives to join the service? I told her I can't imagine I would have joined the service if I had had universal health care or universal education. And she said something that just really made me think differently. She said, right now, we are fighting the wars of the past. We're buying the ships, we're buying the tanks, the planes, all of this warfare that we are buying because these gigantic corporations have all the contracts. There are no big contracts anymore. And those are wars of the past. What we're not fighting is the wars of the future. All of your cyber stuff, all the stuff that's in the future.
Utilities, water,
yes. Yes, all your cyber warfare, everything that would have to do with cyber, we're not doing that. And so they're going to win this war because we're not waging that war. And she said, if we stopped paying all this stuff from the past and people had universal education and you could go to college, you could be hired by the military to fight these wars of the future, because you would have, they could pay you the $150,000 or $200,000 a year that you would earn because you have this technique and this specialty that you cannot currently get in the service.
Yeah.
You have to go and get specialized and, be an expert at this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of it this way. Like, yeah, we've got these big fucking ships that we're still building, but how many more do we need?
We don't. I mean, I would argue we don't.
Yeah, and we don't really even need like the same pilots and like ground warfare that we had we don't fight wars like that anymore.
No.
Wars are fought with drones. Wars are fought with missiles, and they go on their own. We have all kinds of warfare stuff, materials. Like there's a missile that like spreads out and is knives and it spins around and chops you up. And we've used that before on terrorists. I know it's morbid, but we didn't need anybody to go do that. This guy comes out on his balcony, they shoot the missile, the knives come out, and then they chop him up. There's no boom. Nobody even knows it. Mission accomplished, done. So we don't need all the ground foot soldiers like we used to have, but we need technologically, educated people.
Yeah.
To fill these positions that are the wars of the future. And those are supported by universal education.
Yeah. I mean, there will still be people who that's what they want to do. They want to join the military. It will be a thing, right? I got like $6,000 for my GI Bill, but I just wanted to go. I was kind of a lost soul. I didn't want to be in college. All the things. Would that have been different with healthcare and education? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, like you're saying, you can just be an employee of the military without having a 10-year commitment. And that probably saves everyone a lot of money.
Lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
And we've got right now a military who has an unlimited budget, who has never passed an audit ever. Not once ever. The entire time they've been doing audits on the military budget, it's never passed a military audit. Where the fuck is this money going? We have no idea.
Well, there's no accountability either, which, goes back to the status quo of everything. We got to stop it.
Yeah. And all this money is just being sucked up by these Northrop Grumman and all of these different contractors who basically own the politicians.
Yeah. And Elon Musk.
100%. And look at how much money is going to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed. I was really, really impressed. I was like, oh my God, yes, this makes sense to me.
That's so amazing.
I had never thought of it in that way because I'm so used to fighting the wars of the past, and I hadn't thought about the wars of the future and the current day.
Yeah. Well, because there's so much happening in our faces right now. It's really hard to have that perspective.
So I really think she's going to be the next governor of the state of California.
That's so cool.
But here's the thing. When she's like in mode, like focused, she's kind of bossy, right? So she was caught on camera once telling her staff member to get out of the shot because the staff member was behind her and she was in her shot, and she was terse. But then people jumped all over her book and shit. Dude, would they be doing that if she had a peen?
No. And I have this argument all the time about people. Like, they get mad at me for like, oh, you're so defensive. I'm like, me telling you my opinion and my perspective is not defensive, because the tone would be like this. Just because I'm telling you what you're wrong doesn't make me a terrible person. Means you have a bias that you are. Yeah, I know. If it were a man, it wouldn't have even been news.
Oh, 100%. Look at, what was the guy's name that was on Fox News forever? And he's like going off like, well, just do it fucking live. Bill O'Reilly. Remember, he had all kinds of stuff like that. And
all the time.
Didn't even bat an eye.
No.
But she's so smart. Oh my God. It was such a great, great event. So glad that I got to go.
It's so exciting. I love it. Well, Indiana's still a dumpster fire. Our legislative body last week decided that they will reconvene tomorrow to redistrict or redraw the maps, our congressional maps. And it's a hot mess, but we have a network in place now, and a lot of Hoosiers have jumped on it. So there are protests, testimonies, all the things are scheduled. Mad Voters, ACLU, Rural Summit. It's been really good, but we're wasting money. Our fiscally responsible Republicans are not being fiscally responsible again.
So they're calling a special session for this, right?
Well, technically what they're doing is starting their January session early.
I see. Okay. So, but they're starting it early, like 3-4 weeks early?
Yes.
Right before the holidays?
Yes. Well, I know, which is annoying, right? Because they announced this during Thanksgiving week, I think maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's just like, this is so intentional. People are busy. People are distracted. A lot of people are gone. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Intentional and infuriating.
Infuriating. It's so infuriating.
But that being said, that reminds me, most states do have a part-time legislature. So if you're listening to this, your legislature is probably about to start again. So in January, most, except for Indiana, most legislatures will start back up, including Iowa. So get ready to start calling your legislators again, state representatives, state senators. If you live in Nebraska, just one representative, because you have that weird bicameral thing that confuses the shit out of me. But get ready. It'll be important again.
Well, and so you're pretty much the go-to person for that in Iowa, right? For legislature and things. Okay. In Indiana, we're really lucky. We have Mad Voters, Hoosier Action. We have a lot of different organizations that dissect legislation. So if you are someone like me who last year, like, all right, we're going to go through all of these. Don't get overwhelmed with it. Follow Mad Voters. Support them. They're amazing.
We have a lot of great organizations here, but they all kind of like segment themselves. They focus on one thing and one thing only. So then you just have to go to all of the different sites to figure out.
They really should work together and collaborate to put it all in one spot.
100% agree. Absolutely agree.
That's what I say we. I'm very much on the periphery of that, but they're working toward that here, which is really nice.
Our Sioux City chapter, he is moving down to Ames, which is, Iowa State University is changing schools. So he's going to be closer to Des Moines, and we are going to be putting together our own legislation to present to subcommittees, like abortions are all free and legal. Every man needs to have a vasectomy,
I love it.
common sense stuff,
Absolutely.
So we'll have some legislation this time around.
Nice.
I'm eager for it. And now that I'm officially a chaplain of the Church of Don't Be a Dick, I have my little chaplain badge. I'm eager to see if they boot me out of Bible study again.
You could probably get a press badge too. We have a group of like content creators in Indiana. Some of them are getting press badges. So you may want to look into that. Like, it's pretty easy.
That's a good point. Yeah, we do have bloggers and content creators that have press badges. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. Now, if you end up being a candidate, because I know you kind of toyed around with that, I think that might be a little wonky, being press and a candidate, but you can deal with that when you get to it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that right now because I'm not looking at being a candidate this time around.
Okay.
Like maybe sometime clearly sometime in the future. I don't see a seat right now that would be a good fit for me. Plus, it has been a lot of fun making fun of all these politicians. And if I have to work with these politicians after I've made fun of them, it might be a little hairy. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, they are doing some really dumb shit.
Oh, but they would, they would be turning me in to ethics nonstop. I would never get anything done because I'd be in ethics all the time. She made fun of me. She said that.
Can you believe it? She made a soap opera out of this.
Why? All of those legislators, I don't know about there, but at least here, it's like they're just at summer camp having a party. And that's the entire legislative session. They're all screwing each other. They're all partying.
Oh, my God.
You would be surprised maybe you wouldn't be. How many of these legislators are having affairs?
Oh, I'm certainly, that does not surprise me.
These are all the pro-family, conservative, they are all out fucking their lobbyists and staff members.
Ew.
I know.
Gross.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that until I really, really got involved in local politics. So heads up, buttercup.
It's just like the military, right?
Yeah. Yep. Do you have anything else on your end?
Not that I can think of. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million things, but my brain is still not plugged in.
Yep, there's so much. But we will try and pick it up on Wednesday, whatever we left out, because I'm sure we'll have nothing new between now and then.
Nothing at all.
Right. So I guess with that, make sure that you like and comment and do all the things. Spread the word about our podcast. You can reach me at 515-442-0422. That is our Google Voice, so you can leave a message or leave us a text message. Or you can reach me through our website at www.bitchesgetstuffdone.org.
And I am Hoosier, bitchesgetstuffdone.org.
Yay. Oh, and don't forget, tickets to the Totally True Tale of Trump and Ezer Scrooge are now on sale. Woohoo! And I'm putting up the link tomorrow on the website, so you can buy tickets in advance. And you can always, of course, buy my book, too, while you're there. So just buy stuff.
Are you going to try to live stream that?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I just got all of the songs written, and I've got to get everybody together for rehearsals. I put together the rehearsal schedule. Oh. So I haven't gotten to the live stream stuff yet, but I'm sure we will broach that topic soon enough.
I love it so much.
It's going to be so silly. Oh, my God. I'm so eager for it. I can't even tell you. All the songs really came together nicely. We've got one from the Lorax, How Bad Can I Be? How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally. How bad can I be? So what if my kink is pee?
Are you inviting media to that press?
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Holy crap, yeah.
You got to do a press release for that shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, yeah. Thank you for telling me that, yes. Okay, that's all I have, Blythe.
Awesome. I got nothing.
Okay, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you for listening to Bitches Get Stuff Done, the podcast.
Bye.